Okay, guys, welcome. This is my first production here. All right, so it's a trial run here. Today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna review how to make our graphs using Microsoft Word. Okay, some of us have been having a little bit of trouble with it in class. Some of us have been doing very well. All right, so we're just gonna put this up here as a little review to help you out. First thing we have to do is let's open up Microsoft Word. Okay, want to get that open so we know what we're working with here, and we want to insert a graph. So let's click on the Insert tab. You'll see your chart right here, okay? You see the bar chart. That's what you want to click on, okay? So we're going to click on that. And here's you can see there's many choices here, guys, okay? Again, let's pick the one that will work best. We don't want to be too crazy with our graphs. We want them to look nice. We want them to be creative, but not over the top, all right? Again, we're still trying to communicate information here. So we're going to make a bar graph today, all right, a column chart. I think your two best options here are your basic two-bar chart right here, or 3D, okay? So let's try the 3D for today. All right, add a little flavor here. So what's going to happen is once you do that, your Excel chart's going to pop up over here. This is your data table, all right? So you have your data table on the right. You're going to have your graph on the left. Keep in mind, guys, go back to a lesson earlier in the year when we were talking about data tables, how we create them, where our variables go. We have our independent and dependent variable. Independent being what it is we're testing, okay, what we're manipulating. That always goes in the first column. Your dependent variables, the data you collect, always goes in every column over to the right, okay? So for today, we're going to look at amount of meat consumed between beef and chicken from the years 1989 to 1994. Okay, so our dates is what we're testing, right? We're testing to see how much meat was consumed in those specific years. So we want to title our column here, dates. Okay. Our first date is going to be 1989. Like I said, it's 1989 through 1994, not 18. That would be a different time. I don't think we're around there. So 1989, go down with the down arrow, 1990, down arrow, 1991, down arrow, 1992, and all the way till you get to 1994. So 1993, ooh, looks like we have a little mistake here. We don't want that. So 1992, I believe, was the correct date we were looking for. All right, 1994. And there you have it. Now notice some information they give here, guys. All right, you can resize this chart here just by dragging it over in the lower right-hand corner. You'll see the double arrow pop up. But this was moving along with me as I was typing in the dates. All right, now again, we're only using two dependent variables, okay? We were looking at how much beef was consumed and how much chicken. So I don't need this additional column right here. I'm just going to slide this over one column, and you'll see I only have two. So this one's no longer in my graph, and you can see it change over here. All right? So you can see series right now is your key. Again, I'm looking at beef, so I'm going to type that in. Not Beth, beef. And notice how it changed. I also used chicken. Okay. Type in chicken. Right? Now, here's both of our dependent variables, and our key is already set up for us. Okay? The blue bar will represent beef, and the red is going to represent chicken. So now we need to plug in our data here. All right? We had, and this is in pounds consumed, guys. So we had 68 pounds consumed of beef per person over the course of a year. We had 67, okay, 66, 67 again, 65, and also we went back to 68. Okay, now I'm going to go up and add chicken. All right, we had 70, 71, 72, 69, 71, and 74. Okay. If you guys have ever seen that commercial with the cows, You know, they tell you to eat more chicken. I think they would be pretty pleased with this. Okay, not outrageously pleased, but a little bit. So now you see we have all our data set up here. Okay, we have our scale. Okay, notice how it's already set up for you. We have our years, and we have our key. So now that all our data is plugged in, we don't need this chart anymore. But we're not just going to exit out. I like to minimize it here in case I need to go back to it. All right, now I'm going to enlarge this. All right, make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Now, next thing you want to do is you want to add some titles and some labels, guys. We've talked about how important titles and labels are with our graphs because people need to know what it is that they're looking at. All right. So in order to get your labels in here, you got to go to the layout. So we're going to click on layout, and let's start with our title of our graph here. All right. It's chart title is what you want to click on. So we're going to click on that, and here's your options. None, which I don't recommend. Okay. You have a centered overlay. Okay, which will kind of be right above your graph. It might cause problems depending on the length of your title, where it could get into one of your bars. So I think above the chart is your best option here. All right, and what this was for our title was amount of meat consumed per American from the years 1989 through 1994. Okay, here's your title. All right, now we have to label our axes here. All right, we have our X and we have our Y, our independent and our dependent. So we need to go to axis title. First one we're going to do is our horizontal, which is our X. Okay? We want the title below. All right? And this is the years. Okay? Let's be specific. 1989 through 1994. 194, I don't know what that is. So that's labeled. Now we need to add the label for our Y. All right? Which is our vertical, up and down. And guys, you have to kind of play with these and see which works best. It depends on what kind of data you have. I like the rotated, okay, where it's off to the side. You don't want it to go vertical because it's going to look sloppy. So I think the rotated is the best title. And this was meat consumed. And we used pounds. Okay, so Pounds, pounds. Meat consumed in pounds. All right, so now it's set. You have your title. Both axes are labeled. You have your key. You have your bars. So you're good to go. All right, now you can mess around with the design a little bit. Okay, if you want to change the color, let's go with blue. Okay, I like blue. Blue's my favorite color, so we'll go with blue. And again, it's now you're done. Okay. What I would always do though, guys, is you want to double check your spelling, double check your data, make sure everything's set. Okay. One thing we want to look at though is you'll notice that some of the bars are not even with the lines. So we want to be accurate here with what number these bars represent. All right. So in order to do that, we need to look at our data labels here. Okay. And we want to show them. And you see how the numbers pop up here above. So I know that this bar shows 66 pounds consumed in 1991. All right. For beef and 72 pounds consumed for chicken. Again, remember I did that. I went to data labels. Okay. And if you look at some other options, okay, you can work with these down here. But I think this is pretty easy. Now, you can also show your data table here, guys. All right? You can show it with legend and keys, or you can just show your data table below. But you don't always need to do that because you'll usually already have that made. All right? All right, so I turn them off. Now I'm going to turn them back on, so I have the number right above there. All right. Data table again, we don't want. Data labels, we do want. Okay. And again, here's your key or your legend. You can put in different areas. Okay. I like it off to the right, so we're going to leave it there. Okay. And there you go. Now your graph is created.